What is up, folks? It is I, Will, once again, with Exposing the IWC. Hope you can hear me well. I hope all is well with your lives. Judging by the IWC, things aren't great because people want to complain and bitch all the time. But that's okay. I'm used to it, so I'm not going to complain. I was going to start talking about Raw, but considering the news that just dropped, well, not just dropped, but we don't know what's happening with Soruka. Apparently, she's injured. Now, when I watched SmackDown, I thought she was selling. She was hit low by Charlotte Flair. She had this moonsault she did off the apron at first. Then Charlotte Flair went low. Then she put in the figure four leg lock and she tapped. She was then taken to the back, favoring her leg. And I thought, okay, this is a good sell job. Nothing to see here. But now that I'm seeing this news, I'm seeing Ava talk about how, oh, she's going to address the. Why didn't the thing pause? That's what's going on here. Okay, it paused this now. Well, okay, she's going to address the NXT universe. I'm like, wait a minute. Did I miss something here? Is she actually injured? So now I'm worried. I guess we'll find out tonight. I'm hoping that it is story driven and not an actual injury, considering she was in a figure four leg lock, considering she was favoring the knee because of what happened in the match. That'd be like a crazy coincidence. Have an actual leg injury, lower body injury, while being put in a figure four. Just so happens it's the same leg. That's kind of crazy. I'm hopeful that this woman who had an ACL tear not too long ago, hopeful that she's not actually injured. This is all storyline. Maybe Zarya will turn on her tonight, whatever. But Ava and her being in the ring, talk about injury. I don't know. It seemed kind of fishy. But let's just hope for the best. Let's hope that this isn't her selling. Or let's hope this is selling, not an actual injury. Because that would suck for Soruka. She really had a hard time recovering for last time. Last time she got injured, she said it was a very, very hard time for her. So let's hope that this actually isn't an actual injury. Gonna keep her out for a long time. This is a really good sell job. If she's selling, it is a fantastic sell job in her face. Let's see. Maybe it's just story. We'll see. I'm hopeful that it's not. What's up, King? Perfect time to do a Zarya turn. Sure, but I'm hopeful she's not actually injured. Sure, you're not wrong. They should have been did that. They should have been did a Zarya turn. But I'm hopeful that she's not actually injured. But we'll see. We will see. So that's that storyline. Let's just hope that tonight NXT she's fine. We don't know though. We don't know. But beyond that, let's start talking about you know what? Let's not start with Raw. I lied. I'm not gonna start with Raw. Let's start with Samantha Irvin. Let's talk about Samantha Irvin. So she took to Twitter to tell the world that, hey, 1 year down, 1 year left to go on my non-compete. And that sent the internet into a frenzy. How can you have a 2-year non-compete? The WWE is evil. What's going on here? Why is this happening? This is weird. So on and so forth. Now, to be fair, I thought this was weird. I thought this made no sense. Like, what's going on here? Why did she have a 2-year non-compete? Is she being paid? Is she not being paid? What's going on here? Once I thought about it for like 5 minutes, I realized, okay, I know what's happening here. Only one thing makes sense. Only one thing makes sense here. Samantha Irvin must have had 2 years on her deal when she quit. She walked away from the WWE. She had 2 years on her contract. She's choosing not to honor those 2 years. She's choosing to walk away. Fair, you can retire, but we're not going to let you leave and sign somewhere else if you're going to just not work here anymore. We're not going to force you to work here, but we're not going to have you go somewhere else, work some other wrestling company if you're choosing to leave your contract, which makes all the sense in the world. That's logical. I don't see why there'd be any problem with that. Consider a sports team. Let's say you are a GM or an owner of a basketball team. Let's say I'm on your team. I'm a player. And I decided, you know what? I don't want to play anymore. I'm done playing basketball. I retired. I know I have 2 years left in my contract, sir, but Mr. GM, but I'm out of here. I don't want to wrestle. I don't want to play basketball anymore. I'm burnt out. I'm done. You say, okay, fine. You're going to retire. I respect that. You don't want to play anymore. Okay, you can leave. That's fine. What if the next day you heard, breaking news, ESPN, breaking news, Will has signed with the LA Lakers. Yeah, I'm here, guys. Thanks so much. I'm signed. I'm looking forward to playing with you guys. Let's go win the championship. You're like, what the fuck? What the hell? Didn't you just retire? Like, that's not allowed. You can't leave your contract from one team because you want to retire and pop up somewhere else. That's why if you retire in the NBA or NFL, if you want to come back to the NFL or NBA, you have to come back to that same team and honor that contract. You can't just retire and just go somewhere else. Because if you could, everybody would do it. So she's choosing to not finish out her 2 years. She's making that decision. It's okay. We can't force you to work here. But during that 2 year period that you're supposed to work here, you can't go anywhere else. Because if you did that, everyone would fucking do it. Okay. That's why it's not allowed. So it makes sense. As long as she had 2 years on her contract, it makes sense. I don't have a problem with them saying she had a 2 year non-compete. Basically saying you have 2 years to honor your contract that you're not going to do. You don't want to work here for 2 years, even though you put pen to paper and said you were going to. Okay. You just can't work anywhere else in the business for 2 years. That makes sense. They wouldn't do that if she had 3 years, she had 2 months left on her contract. She don't have 2 months left. She could have rolled out the 2 years. I keep saying 2 years. She could have rolled out the 2 months, or she could have just, she would have been non-compete for 2 months. It's because she had 2 years on her contract is why she can't sign anywhere for 2 years. You're choosing to leave. When you quit or you're retiring, whatever, you are saying, I do not want to honor my contract. Okay, you don't have to. You're retiring, but for that time period that you had on your contract, you can't sign anywhere else. That's where this 2 years is coming from, because you had 2 years left on our contract. That makes sense. So this isn't evil WWE. This isn't evil corporate. It makes sense, which is why she agreed to it when she left. She agreed. Okay, cool. 2 years, I'm out. Because that, I repeat, that is what was left on her contract. It's the only thing that makes sense. It's the only thing that makes sense. So it's fine. It's fine. She rides out through 2 years. She rides it out. Now, I think she's going to AEW, honestly, but not as a ring announcer. She says she missed wrestling. She wants to get back into wrestling. I think she'll probably be a manager or do something, an on-screen role of some sort. But do I think she'd be doing it or being a ring announcer? No. If she did that, that'd make her a liar. She says she's done being a ring announcer. She hates it, doesn't want to do it. So if she goes to AEW and becomes a ring announcer, then she's a liar. I don't think she's a liar. Samantha Irvin, I think she's the GOAT. She's the greatest ring announcer of all time in wrestling. I feel like she wants to do other things, like be a manager, be a wrestler, whatever. Wants to do that. I think Tony Khan will allow her to do that. She's popular. She has a voice. She has a reach. People know her. She'll be on screen, AW. Managerial role, maybe. But she won't be being a ring announcer, I don't think. I don't think she's going to lie like that. That'll make her a straight up liar. I don't think that's the case. So, Samantha Irvin, have fun in AW in a year. Hopefully your booking is good. But I don't see her being a ring announcer. And I don't think it's bad that she has a 2 year non-compete, considering she probably had 2 years left on her contract when she decided to not honor the contract and retire and walk away from it. Okay, that makes sense. If it doesn't, well, God help you. Makes perfect sense if you ask me. Her dropping this on her 1 year instead of when it's ending is so odd, but I guess I get it. Well, it's a milestone. 1 year, I get that. You're trying to make music. You've been making music. She wants to be in wrestling. Look at this quote. He says, I love and miss you all. And remember, I never left for music. She's saying she didn't leave to do music. She's doing music because that's all she can do. Because you can't do what you want to do, which is work in wrestling, not as an announcer. You want to work in wrestling as an on-screen talent that's not an announcer. I'm guessing a manager. I'm guessing some type of something like that, right? Maybe she have the female Don Callis, something like that. It'll be an AW, and we'll see how she gets booked. We'll see what Tony Khan has for her, right? You know what? Speaking of Tony Khan, let's dive right into Tony Khan. I'm gonna bypass Raw for a minute again. Let's talk about Tony Khan. Check this out. Let's talk about Tony Khan's her remarks about Britt Baker. So if you don't know, Britt Baker has not been on AW TV for a long time. She removed AW from her bio. She's pretty much scrubbed AW from all her social media. Tony Khan says this about Britt Baker's whereabouts. What a great star in AW Britt Baker has been. What a weird sentence anyway. She is still a fantastic wrestling star. She's been away from AW for a while, but still very much with us. And at some point, hopefully soon, I'd love to see Britt Baker come back. Tony Khan is speaking as if he's not the head booker. He's speaking if he doesn't run the joint. This is all BS. Okay, right? Tony Khan, this is all what I'll call promoter talk. This is bullshit. This is the same thing the man said about Ricky Starks, who never showed up on AW television ever again. This is the same shit he says about Camille, who, guess what, will never show up on AW television again. Same with Britt Baker. Britt Baker will never show up on AW television again. She's done. This is bullshit talk. He does. Every time there's a talent who is not wanting to be there, who is disgruntled, who wants out, he delivered this bullshit about how, I'd be happy to see her again, as if you can't make a call. If Tony Khan wanted this woman on TV, she'd be on TV. He's the head booker. I repeat, if Tony Khan wanted Britt Baker in the mix, she'd be there. She's not there because she wants out. He knows it. He's being politically correct or being nice about it in these interviews, talking about how she's a star, and hopefully one day, that day is never coming. Just like with Ricky Starks, it never came. He left. Same with Camille. Not going to come. She's going to leave. Britt Baker is out of here. So this is bullshit. Now, do I begrudge Tony Khan for bullshitting? Not really. I guess you got to bullshit here. You don't want to come out and say, well, Britt Baker, she ain't coming back. Got problems with me. I got a problem with her. She's upset. We're not cool anymore. I guess you can't say that. But just know she's not going to show up again, and this is all bullshit. Okay? No more Britt Baker in AW. Right about Camille? We all did. We all forgot about Camille. She's never going to be back. You're done. So that's just more bullshit from Tony Khan, but we can't really be surprised. AW may be in trouble with the Warner Brothers sale. Of course, whether it's Paramount or Netflix, they may be in trouble. Netflix has a working relationship with the WWE, and Paramount with Ellison and them, who knows what's going to happen with Ellison? I mean, he's going to buy that shit, and he may scrap AEW. The man has freaking money, after mother money. Okay, so if Paramount buys them, who knows what's going to happen with AEW? And of course, Netflix has that WWE relationship. They should be worried. I'm gonna put the whole Warner Brothers sale in the back burner. When it happens, it happens. I'm not gonna worry about it until that happens. But yeah, they very well could be issues with AW if they are sold, or if Warner Brothers is sold to the wrong place. AW fans don't like them because they think they're not good wrestlers. Don't like them? We mean them as in Britt Baker and Camille. Yeah, I don't know what goes in the mind of an AW fan. They're sometimes weird. They're very tribalistic, very much so. So who knows what's going on with them? Okay, now let's transition to what's going on Monday Night Raw, shall we? Okay, people don't like Jey Uso, and I'm one of them. I'm kidding. I don't have a problem with Jey Uso. Is he my favorite? No, but it is what it is. So Jey Uso won the Battle Royal last night. Battle Royal to decide the person who'll be facing CM Punk. Jey Uso won. I like the storyline for him. He is acting more like Roman, acting more like I'm about it. I'm going out, looking out for myself. Not about the brothers. It's about me, Jimmy Uso, you dumbass. It's a Battle Royal. Why are you upset that I eliminated you? It's every man for themselves. You even said backstage that it was every man for themselves. So why are you surprised by this? I don't know, man. Jey and Jimmy are both weird. Jimmy's kind of dumb for not thinking Jey would eliminate him. But anyway, we're going to get Jey Uso versus CM Punk, and people are upset. Mostly LA Knight fans. They feel like LA Knight is being looked over again and being screwed over again. Either way, whether it's LA Knight, Jey, or CM Punk, these are all older guys, okay? 40 and up. So it's not really fresh no matter what it is here. No matter what matchup you're getting here. I'm not surprised one bit that LA Knight did not get this spot. Jey Uso is a main character from a storytelling perspective right now on Raw. He has the character moments and the character beats. He's the one who's developing as a character. So it makes sense to put him in this position. He is the one that is acting like Roman Reigns. He's the one who's has a storyline right now. What is Jey going to do? Is Jey going to turn heel? What is Jimmy going to do about that? How does Roman feel about that? Right? Jimmy is a main character from a storytelling perspective. LA Knight is kind of just there, not developing, he's not changing, he's not going through any type of struggle from a character's perspective. So of course, the guy who is actually getting creative juice will be put in the match. Now who's gonna win? I don't freaking know. I would guess CM Punk, but is that the most compelling thing? Probably not. The most compelling thing is to put the belt on Jey Uso, because he's the one with the character moments. He's the guy getting the character stuff. So because he's getting the character moments, put the belt on him. That'd probably be the most interesting thing. Then you see how Jimmy Uso reacts to that. If Jey Uso is kind of going solo, he's by himself, he doesn't care about his brother, he's acting kind of funny, acting kind of weird, put the belt on him and see where that goes story-wise. That's compelling. CM Punk wins it, top babyface, has to deal with the division. It is what it is. Is that interesting? Maybe. Who knows what can happen? I mean, it's all fiction. You make it up. It can be fun ultimately, but right now, Jey, from a character's perspective, is your best bet. If I had to guess, I'd say CM Punk wins. If I had to guess, and then maybe Jey Uso turns heel or gets upset about that. I don't know. But I'm going to guess CM Punk wins. Who knows? Is LA Knight cooked? No, he'll be fine. LA Knight is featured every week. He's popular. He'll be all right. I don't think you have to win the world title to be seen as important or be seen as relevant or worthy of the spotlight or worthy of your position. I don't think so. If anything, Drew McIntyre should be upset. That man's been in the spotlight with titles, shots, and losing left and right. He got screwed at Mania. You know, Drew McIntyre should be champion, right? He has more to complain about, really. Maybe, unless you're an LA Knight fan. I don't know. Jay, they have take belt off because they have take the belt off because of ratings. Well, that's true. It did. He did have the belt, and it took it off of him. I don't think Jay's gonna win it this time. Just don't think so. I think it'll be CM Punk. I think Jay asked Jimmy to cheat for him, and Jimmy doesn't, leading to Punk winning. That'd be a crazy thing to ask. Hey, I eliminated you. Now come help me beat CM Punk. I don't think they're gonna go that route. I don't think so, but I wouldn't be like super shocked by it. But I don't think that's gonna happen. But yeah, Jey Uso, I think he loses. I think CM Punk wins. And we'll see what they do with that. We'll see if CM Punk winning is compelling at all. We'll see how long Seth Rollins is out. We'll see if Braun Breaker goes after him, so on and so forth. But yeah, that's where that's going, I think. If he really wants to be like Roman, that would be peak gaslighting. That's true. That's true. Even though Roman Reigns is kind of changing his ways. Roman Reigns doesn't want help at all. Remember? He got upset when Jay and Jimmy came out there. Jay's becoming the old Roman. Roman is becoming more like Jay in a way, right? Don't help me. Let me do it on my own. Kind of like how Jay wanted to do it on his own. We left Jimmy behind and became it just me, Us. You know? We'll see. When will I'm gonna say Jay Lee. When will AJ Lee show up again? Probably next week. Because Maxine will probably get another match, 3 times the charm. Maybe then AJ shows up. Then again, I thought she was going to show up last week or yesterday. So what do I know about AJ Lee? Who knows what's happening with her? Who knows? Is it possible that Braun can be the reason nobody wins? A DQ match? Ew. Main event match, main event. Saturday night, main event is a DQ. Don't love it. Don't love it. Now, I can see him getting involved for sure. That makes sense for him to do that, but I would not love it from a viewer standpoint. I would not love it. How long? Some people were upset that Braun Breaker was not given the title. They're upset that he was taken out of the Battle Royal. I understand why they wanted to do that. Maybe they want a slower burn for Braun Breaker. They use Braun Breaker to take Seth out of there from a storytelling perspective. And now they're going to hold off, crown Braun Breaker, and go the old man route with CM Punk first. Then maybe Braun Breaker wins it at Mania or down the road somewhere. I don't know. But I don't mind them not crowning Braun Breaker right now off of a pivot due to injury. Even though some people think Braun Breaker should have won the title or should be in the match with CM Punk and win it and just crown the young gun. But I can see why they wouldn't do that, but I'm not sure what's the best way to go. I'm not entirely sure, but I can see why they wouldn't want to do that. I think Braun should have speared Adam, but whatever. That would have worked better to make sense of Adam Pearce taking them out of the match. Because Adam Pearce was upset that Braun Breaker basically humiliated him and tried to punk him and embarrass him in the ring. So he took Braun and Bronson out of the Battle Royal. Maybe if he spears Adam Pearce, that's more of a justification to remove him from the match. It makes more sense. But yeah, I can see it going both ways. What other matches do you think gets added and Sol Ruka injured? Yeah, Sol Ruka is injured. What other matches do you see getting added? Added to what? Bronson getting removed was crazy, though. That's crazy. He was just petty. That's why they probably should have had Braun Breaker spear him, and he just gets super upset and takes them both out of the match. I don't know. Speaking of that wasn't. I couldn't transition that. I tried to transition it didn't work. Let's talk La Primera and Nikki Bella. The most obvious, clear-cut heel turn on the way. Oh, you meant Saturday Night Main Event. Okay, I understand now. So there's this thing that Nikki Bella does where she talks and everything sounds unauthentic. It all sounds fake. When she tries to sound like a babyface, it sounds like a heel trying to hide behind a babyface persona. Like she always sounds heel. Like just her cadence, her way she delivers the lines, it sounds like a heel trying to fake be a babyface, even when she's actually a babyface. So I'm happy that I believe they're actually going the heel route because it suits her better. She's a natural heel. Everything she says sounds unauthentic. It sounds like she's just bullshitting. She's being fake. So I'm glad they're going to heel route here because clearly what's happening here. She said in interviews that she wants to be a heel anyway, so that's coming. And I do believe she's going to turn heel on Stephanie Vaquer, because this damn promo was super obvious. When I was a champion, I had to watch my back. You have a target on your back. I'm going to watch your back. I'm going to help you out, Stephanie. Sure. She's going to stab her in the back, right? That's clear and obvious. And I'm here for it. I want to see heel Nikki Bella because babyface Nikki Bella sounds fake as hell. I don't buy her as a face. So I'm happy to see her as a heel. Nikki Bella fine AF. Yeah, we know that. We've known that for years. Mad Dog. We've known that for years. She's a very attractive woman. You're acting like Stephanie wasn't the NXT World Champion a few months ago. It's funny. Yeah, she's like this all sounds fake. Like everything she says sounds fake. And this chair is very squeaky. I need to get a new chair instead of this old rusty ass chair. You would think Stephanie would learn when Julia turned on her. Yeah. But unfortunately in wrestling, baby faces are dumb. Who will be Women's War Games? I'm going to do that stream this weekend. I'll give you like a little spoiler for that. Women will be from Raw. Men from SmackDown. WWE treated Stephanie Vaquer like royalty, but Roxanne Perez is the youngest on the roster that could be the face of the women's division. I think Roxanne Perez has I've talked about this before. I think Roxanne Perez is going to have trouble ascending to the face of the division. That's going to be a struggle for her. I don't think she'll ever reach that point. I just don't. And I can dive into that if you want me to. Have you noticed that that Raw has been Joshi division and Latina division? They're really honing in on the marketability of the Japanese women and the Latinas because they're a worldwide brand. They're on Netflix. There are different type of markets out there, you know. So it makes sense to push these women, which is why they're here. That's why Julia is here. This is why they wanted Stephanie so bad. Okay, these women are marketable. They look great. They're superstars, and they are licensed to print money. That's why they're there. Why they wanted Julia so bad. That's why they wanted Stephanie so bad. Makes all the sense in the world. Lucky for us, they're good. Lucky for us, they're actually good. So I was saying on Twitter that I needed to see Becky Lynch confront Paul Heyman because if it didn't happen, I'd be upset. Becky's backstage. Her husband was attacked. You hear Paul Heyman and Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker talking shit. You were in the division, or you're part of the division. You were hanging out with them. You can't have a segment. You can't have a show of Raw and not address this. So I'm happy the writers, which I always trust, Raw writers are smart for the most part. It makes sense for the most part. They knew they could not have Becky on the show and not have Becky address or press Paul Heyman. So he did. He had a conversation with Becky Lynch and I loved it. Becky basically said that Seth's coming back. He knew that Paul Heyman was going to turn on him. Never trusted him, and Seth didn't either. When time comes, Seth is going to make whatever Nepo baby he picks, which is funny because, Roman Reigns, Braun Breaker. Whatever Nepo baby you choose, Seth will come back and stomp him into the dirt, basically. I love this segment. We may not get another interaction between her and Paul Heyman ever again, or at least until Seth Rollins comes back, and that's fine. But it needed to happen. This segment needed to happen, and I'm happy it did. Ron should spear Becky too. Well, if you do that, you have to write her off TV, right? You can't just spear her and have her pop up again, which means she had to be off TV. That would hurt the women's division, so we can't have that happen, right? But anyway, Roxanne will be Dolph Ziggler, someone who was so good at everything that it may hurt her in the long run. Just announced Saturday Night Main Event, Cody versus Drew for the Undisputed Championship. That's awesome. Another loss for Drew. Another loss for Drew. Speaking of heel turn, when should this happen? Right now, because it's so obvious, probably before War Games. So sometime within the next 2-3 weeks, Nikki Bella should turn on Stephanie McMahon. What I would do, this is what I think should happen. Let's not drag it out too long when it's that obvious. So just do the turn within the next 2-3 weeks. She's tagging with Stephanie McMahon. They beat them. They beat Roxanne and Raquel. She stabs her in the back. That's what I would do. Don't wait too long. Don't wait too long. But yeah, I thought Becky was great here. Great on the mic. Great promo. Cutting down Paul Heyman. Call him a penguin in the face. That was great. I love Becky Lynch. I saw somebody say, why is a heel acting like a babyface? Just because Becky Lynch is a heel doesn't mean she can't be mad at other heels. Doesn't mean she can't be mad at the person that was talking shit about her husband. I mean, come on now. Like, what are we doing here? You can be a multi-dimensional character. Yeah, I'm a heel, but at the same time, I'm not going to be okay with somebody talking shit about my husband. I'm not going to be okay with somebody attacking my husband. I'm going to defend him. It makes all the sense in the world. It'd be very dumb to not have Becky Lynch interact with Paul Heyman because she's a heel. You can't have heels going after heels. That's just dumb. That's just stupid. Does Drew lose clean or by interference? I would have Drew beat Cody Rhodes, but that's not happening. So I don't know what's going to happen in that match. Honestly, I have no clue. I have no clue what's going to happen in that match. I would hope that Drew wins, but I doubt that happens. Who's going to take the women's championship from Stephanie McMahon? Nobody. I think she's champion all the way to Mania. Speaking of champions, got Maxine Dupree cutting this promo on Becky Lynch. So the fans are behind Maxine here. The IWC is behind her. They're enjoying the work she's doing. Could she actually win the belt? Could she actually beat Becky Lynch? I would say no. No disrespect to her. I like this run. I see her improvement. I'm seeing the fire. I'm seeing the passion. Doesn't mean she has to be champion. Does not mean she has to be champion. I would prefer we get a match between AJ Lee and Becky Lynch for that title eventually, which means Maxine has to lose again. Or not lose again. She has to fail to capture the belt again. I think the third time she probably loses. So she won the first match, technically. She won the second match, technically. I think the third time she loses. And then AJ Lee comes back. I don't know. I've been guessing AJ Lee comes back for a while now. But I think now is the time to have AJ pop up after the third match. I think they did this so they can have a no DQ match to hide Maxine's skills. Well, she been doing fine. I mean, she's been doing all right, but yeah, you have to just embrace it. Her being not the best in the ring is endearing at this point. It's a part of the character. We just gotta embrace it and see how it goes. I don't think they're riding around it. I don't think they're worried about it right now. Becky Lynch is doing all she can to make her look good. I think they're doing a good job elevating Maxine. I think Becky Lynch is being a good sport about it and helping her look strong in the ring. But good for her. Good for Becky Lynch. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But I've been impressed with Maxine. Do I think she should be champion? No. But I'm impressed. I'm happy for her. See what she does going forward. Asuka Kyrie. So no Io, no Rhea Ripley, even though I'm sure Io Sky traveled to San Fran. Maybe they shot something with Io. Because if they didn't, they wasted her time. Because she came from Japan. Now she has to fly back to Japan. So I'm hopeful that they recorded something for next week. Because if not, big waste of time. Rhea Ripley has a broken nose. So Asuka and Kyrie came out here and said, "No, it's funny. They lost the match. They lost the matches in this feud. But I like how Asuka's claiming they won the feud. Like, okay, we dealt with them. I broke her face. We're done with them. We were going to move on." That was hilarious. You guys lost every match in this damn feud. Like, you know what? We're done here. We're moving on to other things. Brighter horizons. Let's move on to the tag titles. We won this feud. I think that's hilarious. Winning a feud without winning a match. It's great. So we're getting Asuka and Kyrie versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss soon. That makes sense because Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss are on SmackDown with no real challengers now at this point. They're doing Julia in Kiana James against Tiffany. That kind of feud is going on now. So Asuka and Kyrie are sitting here on Raw. They want the tag titles. So Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, that's your match. And I think that is an indicator for the direction they're going to go with the War Games match. I do believe you're going to get Asuka and Kyrie against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss at some point. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley will want revenge, right? Rhea will want revenge. That's how you get that babyface unit of Charlotte, Alexa, Rhea, and Io. I believe, a little spoiler for my stream later on this week, I believe you're going to get those four on your babyface team. Rhea, Io, Charlotte, Alexa Bliss. Asuka and Kyrie on the heel team, of course. But we'll discuss that later on. We'll discuss what else is going to happen with that later on. But I'm looking forward to the Kabuki Warriors against Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. Didn't Kyrie beat Io? When? When do we get Asuka versus Io? Beyond War Games? I don't know. Would they do that on a Raw? Yeah, I could see that on a Raw. A Raw main event. Before or after War Games. I'd probably do it before. Just so the War Games match could be the last thing you do with that storyline. But yeah, I can see it happening on Raw before War Games. But yeah, Alexa, Charlotte, Rhea, Io. maybe one other person, I don't know, versus Judgment Day, Asuka Kyrie, and we'll see what happens with Stephanie, but we're not, I'm not sure. When does Kyrie turn on Asuka? In War Games or sometime after it? Just depends on what you want to do. Depends on how you want to go about it. There's so many options, so many routes you can go. So many options. So yeah, Raw was solid. Whether it was, I thought it was fine. I thought it was a solid show, a good show. I'm not worried about Raw. Every Raw, I think we'll get a good show. So this Raw was no exception. Solid show. And we move on to SmackDown, which is more of a worry. Kyrie beat Io on Raw before Crown Jewel. I forgot about that. So I'm guessing maybe Kyrie had a banger with Rhea Ripley too. Saw that? CM Punk better win the title. I think he will. I think he will. No worries there. He will. He'll win it. I just hope the creative is good for him going forward. I think we're all worried about that freaking Soruka injury, man. That sucks for her, man. That sucks. What? Oh, here's that announcement you're talking about with Cody Rhodes that I was not privy to. Not gonna play for some reason, but here it is. After what went down on SmackDown, Nick Aldis has made huge news regarding Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre.
For Saturday night's main event. Cody Rhodes, the WWE Champion, the American Nightmare, will defend the WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre. The American Nightmare versus the Scottish Warrior. That takes place live November the 1st for Saturday night's main event. And I'll see you all for SmackDown.
He's going to lose again. Drew's going to lose again, unfortunately. Shouldn't, but he will. I can see Triple H doing Asuka and Kyrie till Mania. That'd be a big Mania match, which would probably lead to another Asuka loss. Can you imagine? That'd be a good Mania match. Unfortunately for that, though, women don't get singles Mania matches, non-title, even though it happened finally this past Mania with Naomi and Jade. It was possible now. It happened once, it can happen again. I'm just not going to get my hopes up when it comes to Triple H. You know? But that'd be cool. That'd be cool to see Asuka versus Kyrie. I wouldn't complain one bit. Got contract signing. Okay. Yeah, my girl Tatum. So we get to see how Izzy Dame will screw Tatum Paxley. But Tatum is excited about being number one contender. Shawn Michaels giving her a lot of praise recently. I'm happy to see it. I believe she is the most underrated in-ring talent in the entire promotion. I think she's great in the ring and is underrated. I think she's awesome in the ring. Very, very talented. So I'm hopeful that she gets some more shine these days. I'm hopeful that this title match, she's probably going to lose. Hopeful that gives her more, more recognition for her talent. I can see Triple H doing Asuka. Oh, I read that one already. but I have no idea who's beating Becky. Yeah, no clue either. I thought it was gonna be Stephanie Vaquer, but then she went and benefited from Naomi's pregnancy, so not gonna be that. Who knows? But I don't think Becky Lynch needs that title at this point. I don't think she needs it. I think she should drop it soon here. Maybe to AJ Lee, I don't know, but she doesn't need it at all. Her character work, her storytelling, she doesn't need a title at all. She doesn't need it. So she should give that title to somebody else at this point so they can benefit from it. But we'll see. We will see. I think Asuka and Io might be end all 2026. Most likely at Mania in Vegas. They'll wrestle before that, I think. They'll wrestle before that. They will probably run AJ versus Nikki sometime this year. Nikki Bella, sure. At some point. I'm hopeful that AJ Lee returns next week, but we don't know. Don't get too excited about that. We have no idea. Still no Bianca in sight. Still wondering what's happening there. You know what? I noticed something. Getting cut or leaving the WWE is very, very it gives you attention, unlike any other promotion. Whenever somebody leaves WWE, they pop up on Ariel, they pop up on some other podcast, something like that. Yeah, this is the most coverage Jasmine Nix has gotten ever. She's been in WWE for a while now. Her leaving to WWE has given her a lot of attention, a lot of shine, a lot of promotion. I swear, like, if you can work the leave, like if you can leave WWE and spin it and work it well, you get a lot of media coverage out of it. I'm telling you, I've never seen this much talk about Jasmine Nix ever. You can utilize that as a, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the phrase? A rollout. You use it as a rollout for whatever you want to do. Whether it's OnlyFans, whether it's some other business deal, whether it's some other, like a podcast, whatever. You can use the release or the leaving as a rollout for something else. Be smart about it. Very, 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 very beneficial for you. Yeah, AJ Lee should return to build up the storyline with Becky Lynch until Mania. I'm just happy to see her at any point. Whatever it is, I'm happy to see her on the screen. I'm not loving the interaction between Roxanne and Dom. I noticed on TV that Roxanne talks very light, very low for these backstage segments. And sometimes I'm like, Roxanne, speak up. I can't barely hear you. I gotta turn up my TV to hear you right now. She talks so low when she's trying to have these conversations with Dom, be nice and sweet to Dom. She talks at a very low volume. I can't hear you. Speak up. Speak up, Roxanne. Any chance that Julia will take the title from Tiffany? Zero. Yeah, AJ Lee. Yeah, I read that one already. Yeah, zero chance. I don't see it. I think Julia is a filler feud for Tiffany because they don't have Jade. She's healing. And Nia Jax has been there, done that. So I don't have anyone else beyond Julia. I think that Julia Tiffany match is a bad sign. What's happening is you don't have anyone compelling for Tiffany. You don't have anyone compelling for Jade. I'm sorry, Jade, for Julia. So you're saying, okay, Julia, okay, Tiffany, fight, because we don't have anyone in line that we're interested in from a storytelling standpoint. So let's bring up some people from SmackDown. Hopefully they bring up Lola Vice to SmackDown. She helps Damian Priest. Then you can have a Lola Vice Julia feud, whatever. But they need to do something because Bianca, holding out for Bianca, but she ain't coming back anytime soon, I don't think. So I'm not going to give my hopes up. So call up Lola Vice, call up some other SmackDown talent or some other NXT talent. I've been trying to use Sol Ruka here and there, Rosaria. Bring up some other women. Bring them up. Do something. Bring up Last Legend. Could have been did that. Lash versus Tiffany, good match. Lola Vice, Tiffany. Lola Vice, Julia, solid match. Do something because right now, women's division on SmackDown is suffering. The longer Bianca is out, the more I'm realizing they finna do Jade versus Charlotte soon, especially if they rush the Alexa breakup. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna rush the breakup. They're not gonna break up until after War Games. Even then, they'll probably still be together for a while because I don't see them dropping the belt until maybe Liv Morgan's ready to come back. Then you do Roxanne and Raquel winning it, and Liv Morgan coming back to see her the belt. By her, I mean Roxanne. I don't know. Anything to get them away from the Wyatt Six man. Maybe getting the Wyatt Six against the MFTs at War Games, my guy. So don't get too beware, because I do believe the SmackDown men are getting War Games, and they may do like a combination of Sami Zayn, Ilya. Who else has been feuding with the MFTs over there? Ray Phoenix. They could do that, or Wyatt Six. They're hyping up Wyatt Six versus the MFTs. They're hyping it up. Why? Because it might be War Games. How upset would folks be? You have to get over it. I will say this. If that is War Games, the MFTs against the Wyatt Six, the women should close the show. They probably won't. Probably have some other match, like some other world championship match for the men. But if that is the case, the women should close War Games. But they'll probably add some other world championship match on that show. So yeah. Roxanne versus Liv or Raquel versus Liv is the SummerSlam feud next year. Probably Liv versus Roxanne Perez. Down the road. Whether it's SummerSlam or not, I don't know, but at some point. Liv Morgan might be back before Bianca Belair, honestly. I'll not be surprised. This rate. Okay, I'm done talking. Raw was solid show. Not complaining. I will shut up and look at the chat and answer whatever questions you guys have until I am done with the stream. Shoot. Any questions at all? Let me check Reddit real quick. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Was I surprised when Sami Zayn lost the US title? Kind of, so. I don't know. I can't remember. I was surprised, not when the match was happening. Once I saw the match, like halfway through, I thought, okay, this could happen. But before the match, did I see it happening? No. So I guess I was surprised, but when the match started happening, during the course of it, I saw how it was going. I thought, oh, they could do it here. But yeah, before that, what the hell is Becky Lynch doing here?
Last night there's been some chatter about my conduct, as if I acted in an unsportsmanly like manner, which I can tell you is absolutely untrue. In the match, clear as day, everybody saw it. Maxine, closed fist punch to my face, an illegal maneuver. Jessica Carr should have disqualified her. What's more, an illegal maneuver with an illegal object. I have verified this through experts, through nail technicians. They have verified that the nails that Maxine Dupree was wearing would cause intense damage to the lip. Something that I said, okay, that's it. You know what? I've had enough. I'm not going to stoop to any. I'm not going to stoop to a level that is not my highest self. So I took myself out of there. I took a walk and I said, okay, that's enough. I'm not going to stoop any lower. And she wouldn't have it. She wouldn't let me go.
Okay, so Becky Lynch got an actual boo-boo on her lip, and she's highlighting it in this promo, right? How can I use this? How can I use this injury or this boo-boo that Maxine gave me and like tie it into the storyline? This was it. This was a classic Becky Lynch. Classic Becky Lynch. I remember when she put that promo when Bianca Belair hit her in the throat at a live event, and she showed up with her voice box messed up. She cut a fantastic promo. I think that was the day. That was the moment I realized, damn, this woman is talented. She's very good at this stuff. So yeah, I love Becky Lynch as a heel. Never be a face again, Becky. Never again. Never again. Was the Japanese show good? I don't know. I wasn't there. Why is it playing? I'm gonna play her promo that she cut on Bianca Belair when she broke her, well, not broke, when she hurt her voice box, but it won't play. Where it is.
Well, I made
This is the moment I realized, okay, this woman is special on the mic.
Well, I made Well, I made it. I busted out of hospital and I made it to Cleveland just in time for the end of Raw. Now, it didn't matter that hours ago, Bianca Belair hit me as hard as she could in the throat, fracturing my voice box. Hitting me so hard that I was spitting blood all over the arena in Allentown. No, I made it here because I wanted to get my hands on Bianca Belair. And when she heard I was coming, she ran out of here. I asked around and they said she ran as fast as she possibly could. Didn't even take her bags. Now, you may be asking who they are. Well, they are from Cleveland, so I don't really care. Actually, it may have been Miz. Anyway, the point is that Bianca Belair has gone running scared, gone running with her little braid between her legs.
because she's doing everything that she can to try and get an advantage on me. Last week, she beat my beautiful mom bod mercilessly with her braid, scarring me up. And this week, she left me lying in a hospital bed. Well, what did you think, Bianca? You think I was just gonna sit there? You think I was just gonna play Wordle? You thought I was gonna drink some soup, eat some ice cream, and forget about this? Let you have your way, let you run Raw? No, Bianca. That's not how this works. And now you have no idea the lengths I am willing to go to keep that title on my shoulder. I have kept that title on my shoulder for 3 years, and nobody has been able to beat me for it.
Never turn this woman heel. I'm sorry, face ever again. I agree, but Triple H gonna drag stuff out for years. Like, at this point, I don't care to see him and Finn feud. Is tired. Who feud with Finn? Who feud with Finn? Am I streaming Io versus Mayu? Well, here's the thing. Oh, Dom. That's gonna come a bit. Well, I'll be interested to see how they weave Liv Morgan back into Judgment Day and how that dynamic, because really the feud is between Liv and Finn. That's the actual feud. Liv versus Finn. I'll be curious to see how that works with Liv Morgan coming back, because Finn was doing everything he could to make Liv Morgan's life miserable. He was gleeful about her suffering and her losses and her turmoil and the dynamic between her and Dom when her and Dom were having some issues. So it all depends on what they want to do with that. Am I streaming Io versus Mayu? That show is happening at 1 o'clock a.m. Oh no. The answer is no. I would love to, but the answer is no. And how many of you guys be watching that anyway? How many of you guys have a subscription to Wrestle Universe? Honestly, how many of you have a subscription to that? This show is happening 1 a.m. Bias it unk. Are you what? What, buy it and put it on screen for you guys to see it? Ha! I don't know how Wrestle Universe rolls. Wrestle Universe might take down my entire channel. Might take my channel down, for all I know. I won't be watching this live. No way. I may wake up to it being on, but I'm not gonna watch it live. No way. I don't think so. I'll watch it when I wake up, but no. What does Wrestle Universe cover? Oh, let's see. Marigold, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, Night Girls, Marvelous, Noah, DDT, and some other stuff I don't watch. Honestly, the only things I watch here, watch Marigold, TJPW, Night Girls, Marvelous whenever they upload, and Noah during the Magic Monday. Oh look, what's his face? Oh nope, not play that. It's Charlie Dempsey. It's on this card. Let's see, who do you wrestle? Charlie Dempsey. Here it is. Main event. Main event. Charlie Dempsey right there. I may watch this later. Who knows? But yeah, that's what I watch on Wrestle Universe. Really. Not bad. It's not bad. It's a good bargain for your buck. Io was in San Fran on Sunday and she wasn't on Raw last night. She may have recorded something, Jerry. She may have recorded something for next week because you probably won't be on Raw. Considering, maybe, but that'd be kind of crazy. Because I believe her match with Mayu is on Sunday. So she have to run back to America to watch, to be on the Raw show. So I doubt she will be. She probably just recorded something tonight or last night. Probably. They couldn't make her record something after her match in Japan. It would have been better. Maybe they had other plans. You know, things are subject to change. Maybe they had plans for her originally, but they decided not to do it. She'd be fine though. Does it suck to travel to Japan, come back, and go right back? Yes, but she'll be fine. She'll be fine. Do I think she should have stayed? Yes. Julia's still over there. Julia's still over there, but then again, she's on SmackDown, so she can afford to be over there. But yeah, Julia is still over there in Japan, hanging out with Rossi. Rossi posted a picture of her and Mai Sakurai, so still in Japan. She's still over there. I mean, she's still over there with Rossi, having a good old time. Lovely to see. Look at Io in the back. That's Io in the back there. So whatever, signed by Io. Io Shirai signed that. That's cool. So they're in a wrestling restaurant, whatever, like a wrestling bar. I don't know. Io's signature right there in the back. Rossi with Mai Sakurai and Julia eating that good Japanese food. Look at that. Good stuff. Anyway, get out of here. Random as hell. I think since Rhea Ripley broke her nose, they didn't put Io, Asuka, and Kairi live on the show. That's probably why, yeah. This proponent, I think they're going to pivot right to, until Rhea Ripley returns, they're going to do Asuka, Kairi versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, and then Rhea Ripley will make her return at some point. But I think you're going to get that tag match first before Rhea Ripley shows up. That leads to War Games. I still banging on Jade finally accepting Kiana offer. Thoughts? Well, that depends. Will Kiana still be working with Julia? If so, I say no. If Julia kicks Kiana James to the curb, then I can see Kiana James helping a heel Jade Cargill. But until then, I say no. I think Rhea Ripley shows up to cost Asuka. Yeah, I can see that. She'll probably show up with the mask again. Like a mask. It's funny because didn't she have a mask last War Games? She had like a mask on her face last time? For the eyeball? For like the orbital? She may have another, or maybe the same mask. Maybe the same mask she should wear again for her nose. My tweet going viral out of nowhere. Also was, I thought she was just selling. It had like 5 likes 30 minutes ago. That was like 641. Yeah, man, she's selling very well here. If this is all storylines, she's a great actress. Looks rough. It looks rough. Broke her face last year. Yeah, she had orbital crack in her face. Do you think they put the titles on Kairi and Asuka just so Rhea Ripley and Io can win it off of them? That's not a bad shout. If you want Rhea Ripley and Io away from the world title picture, which is what they're doing clearly, give them the tag titles to chase. That makes sense. That'd be cool. But what does Charlotte Flair and what Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss does after that. What they do after that, I don't know. But I could see a tag team triangle between, of course, Riho, Kabuki Warriors, Judgment Day, and Alexa and Charlotte Flair. A lot of star power. Meanwhile, Tiffany's doing what? I don't know. Stephanie dealing with Nikki Bella. That's where that's headed. You're going to get Stephanie versus Nikki Bella feud. Tiffany, who knows? When Bianca come back, who knows what's happening with Bianca Belair? No one knows. Bayley Lyra is still cooking. Yeah, they're still going around. They're a tag team. You can have a thriving tag team division on Raw. The Bayley Lyra, Kabuki Warriors, Riho, Charlotte, Alexa will be on Raw going forward for a little bit. And then you have Judgment Day. Those are some tag team powerhouses. Have I seen the Demon Slayer movie? I have not. Not seen that. Seen the show, but not the movie yet. Yeah, so we'll see. Tonight, NXT. Big time news about Soruka. I'm hopeful that she's not actually injured, but I think she is. That's unfortunate, man. One injury can change the plans. Speaking of injuries changing the plans, can you imagine if Mercedes Moné got injured? Like a bad injury? As active as she is, it could really happen. She would have to, depending on how bad the injury is, she would just have to hold on to all those belts, or worst case scenario, vacate them all. Then again, based on what I saw from Winnipeg, so let me pull up that tweet real quick. This will be the last thing I'll talk about here. So, Winnipeg Pro Wrestling posted this about Mercedes Moné, which I thought was interesting. When somebody asked them, how does Mercedes Moné help your promotion, stuff like that, he responded ultimately with this. This is like his second response. He said, the match hasn't been released online because someone said, can you have the same like profit, the same effect if Mercedes Moné shows up and loses? Why does she have to show up and win? Like, couldn't she just show up and lose to your champion? He said, the match hasn't been released online, but our fans know Jody Threat lost the match because of interference from Ava Lawless, her longtime rival. So during that match that she lost the title to Mercedes, her longtime rival Ava showed up and cost her the match. That's a feud. Jody versus Ava. They will be headlining our biggest show in February. 2,300 seat arena. That's cool. Jody is pissed off at Ava, cost her the title, and wants revenge, and will be looking for ways to get that title back. Okay, there's a story there. That goes all the way to February. So no title for Jody Threat and Ava until January. So this feud between them will continue without the belt. And she says, Jody, then he says, one of those ways could be a women's tournament in March. We know at least until March, Mercedes Moné will have that belt. At least until March. That's a long time. We are in October. October, November, December, January, February. That's like 5 months with no belt. 4, 5, 6 months. Interesting. So there's a game plan for this promotion without the belt. That's fascinating to me. It really is. And then what's funny is Tony Khan said they're broke. Tony Khan said those promotions are broke. It's like Mercedes Moné ain't doing this for the money. She's not greedy. Those promotions aren't paying her any money. They're broke. Well, you didn't say that, but that was insinuation. And I thought it was funny that Winnipeg Pro Wrestling responded with, let me see, what do you respond with? Tony Khan pocket watching WPW? That was hilarious. Could have said that he said that it's not about pure greed and money with Mercedes, because a lot of these places she wrestling, Winnipeg, Canada, Denmark, they're not the highest paying prices. Or they're not the highest paying places. Basically saying they're broke, they ain't got no money. So you're doing it for the love of the game, not for the money. That Money Con pocket watching? That's hilarious. But yeah, they're calling her. They're calling her, they're booking her for whatever reason. So yeah, they have their business, they have their books. They're not stupid. So they're thinking they're getting some type of benefit from this. So let them do it. Or get 13, 14, 15, 16 belts, whatever. I don't think it's the most compelling thing. I'm not that enthralled by it, but hey, if these promotions think they're getting something out of it, then by all means, keep it up. Keep booking her. Keep giving her all your belts. As long as you know what you're getting into, as long as you're okay with it, as long as there's some type of benefit, fine. Fine. I just hate all belt collector storylines already, so. 4 letters, 1 word, Drew. 4 letters, 1 word, Drew. Okay. That is it for the stream. Drew McIntyre is great on Twitter. Hopefully he wins. I don't see it. Black Phone 2. I didn't see the first one yet, Jerry, so. I haven't seen the first one, so. I can't watch the second one right now, so. I heard it was solid. NBA is back tonight. That's true. The NBA is back tonight. See how that a long season ahead, Pedro. So pace yourself. A long season ahead. Pace yourself. We'll see how that season goes. Probably OKC in the finals again. But who knows? Maybe the Charlotte Hornets will be good this year. We'll see. All right. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me on the stream. Do me a favor, hit like. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Enjoy NXT. Hopefully, it isn't like bad news with Soruga. Probably is. Probably injured. That's gonna suck. But what can you do? You know, she's yeah, that's gonna suck. But at least it's not gonna be like a. Hopefully, not like a ACL tear. That'd break my heart. That hurt my soul. He had like another ACL tear or something like. Some type of ligament in the knee. That'd be soul crushing. But hopefully she's fine. Hopefully it's not that serious. But we'll see. I fear the worst, unfortunately. All right, see what happens. MCL? Probably MCL. How the hell do you know that? How the hell do you know it's how's it probably a MCL? How do you know? That's still not great. It's not a great injury for a wrestler. Not as bad as the ACL, but hopefully it is an MCL or not as bad as something worse, something better than that. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, enjoy the show tonight. Hopefully it's all well. We'll see what happens. Peace.